really, really interesting. Treasure Mage, blue 2 for 2/2 tutors up a 6-mana artifact. Mold Steel Dragon is a 6-mana artifact. It's a red artifact, but with Phyrexian Red, you can actually put it into play for only 4 mana. And here we have Laurence Swasey versus Edgar Flores. This is a rematch. This is a rematch.
And Edgar lost that one.
Edgar
0-2.
lost at 0-2. Laurence totally slapping around the Clawblade deck there.
Yeah, so wonder how Edgar feels, how confident Edgar feels getting into this match right here, knowing he's already been smashed by this deck. At least now he has some idea of what he's playing against.
Right.
Don't know how much that helps.
And importantly, he actually knows the list. So one thing he didn't know before is he did not know that Laurence Swasey was not playing Manlet.
That's true.
And now he knows.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to fear the counter spells. So for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco here with Adrian Sullivan, and we are watching the quarterfinals of the StarCityGames.com Open Series here in Boston.
Hello, everybody out there.
On your left, you have Edgar Flores rocking the blue-white Callblade. No surprise there. Made some reasonably significant changes to his deck. He's running 3 main deck Ousts and 3 main deck Condemns. No Day of Judgment, no Tumble Magnet. So kind of
no Gideon.
No, that's right. That's the other big one that I keep forgetting about. No Gideon in the main deck. He's got 2 in the sideboard, but he's this is kind of is a pretty big risk he took, and it clearly did him well in getting him to the top 8. Yet again, this is his 6th, apparently, and I'm going to trust his count because that's what he put on his player profile. But on your right, we have Laurence Swasey, whose name may not be as recognizable as Edgar Flores is as of late, but Laurence has done pretty well at 2 past events with a blue-green aggro list, which he's just slightly made a couple changes to and evolved, and that's what he's playing today. And it's a Simic aggro, is what I'm forcing it to be called. It's a really fun list. Adrian, in particular, loves this list.
He played this list 5 months ago, and he's basically changed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. He changed 5 cards from 4 months ago. Fit in some Swords of Feast and Famine, fit in a Consecrated Sphinx. I'm not sure all of the cards he fit in. It looks like he fit in an Oracle. And here he is. Clawblade has emerged, and he thinks it's a good matchup. And actually, watching him play out, he's been beating it.
Yeah, now we watched Laurence earlier today, and he was playing against Edgar Flores. So as Adrian mentioned a few minutes ago, this is a rematch. And Edgar lost that round, that match 0-2. So Laurence now knows the list, but I don't know how much that I just wonder how much of an effect is that going to have. If Laurence has clearly been playing and beating Callblade all day, or else he wouldn't be here in the top 8.
Oh my God, Laurence is mulliganing down to oblivion here.
Well,
doesn't look happy about it.
Yeah.
Now, and the thing about beating Edgar so handily, right? It's not like he beat somebody playing Clawblade.
Yeah.
He played somebody that has been specializing in Clawblade and has won a Star City Games Open Series with Clawblade.
And has top 8'd several others.
Yeah.
So it's really, he's playing against one of the most impressive Clawblade players out there right now. Excuse me.
I believe that Edgar is a Brooklyn Magic player.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Laurence is also fairly local.
Yeah, the last event, that one that he played 5 months ago, was here at the same venue, I believe. So is Laurence down to 4 cards now? And
he looks a little bit defeated there.
Yeah, he does. I mean, really, are 3 going to be better than any 3 going to be better than those 4? I mean, oh wow, he is going to 3.
Okay, so let's craft the perfect 3-card hand. My mind would be Forest, Bird of Paradise, Fauna Shaman.
Seems good.
And then top deck a creature. And on turn 4 or so, after putting lots of Vengevines in the yard, cast 2 creatures.
You made quite a jump there somewhere.
There's a middle ground here where there's nothing else happening.
And then have 4 Vengevines in the graveyard, and then just play 2 creatures. Oh, that seems like a good plan. Wait. So, yeah, this is... I don't know that I've ever seen anybody mulligan to 3 before. Like, at least not... I don't remember.
I mean, I've won on a mulligan to 4 once, but I've never won on a mulligan to 3.
Yeah, so he leads with a fetch land, passes a turn. Edgar already on turn 2 here. It looks like he's going with the Bitter Blossom. Yeah, that's what Kibler said it was like in Paris, and I like to compare that Stoneforge Mystic to Bitter Blossom. So this isn't far off from what you said. So there's a turn 2 Fauna Shaman for Laurence. Meanwhile, Edgar got sort of Feast and Famine, not too big of a shock there, but just for those of you who may be listening and not watching. I know actually on these weekends when I can't watch, sometimes I'll be driving somewhere and I'll hook up my iPhone to the car speakers and put the SCG Live on, and so even though I can't watch it because I'm driving, I can listen. So for those of you out there that do similar things, try to call every card that gets played. So Edgar plays an island and ousts the Fauna Shaman that Lauren just managed to play.
That is so devastating.
Yeah.
And the thing is Edgar is playing three ousts main.
Yeah.
So it's not...
It doesn't look good at the outset for Laurence. So, a second Fauna Shaman for Laurence. But,
that one is countered.
Yeah. Alright, we do have deck lists now.
Now, actually, we have our deck list in front of us, but I pretty much have both these lists memorized now. But it's nice to have them so we can look at the sideboards, which I don't have memorized.
Right.
Looking ahead to the sideboard for Laurence, because I think he's going to have to.
Yeah, we may be looking at these in a moment, because...
I imagine he brings in Nature's Claim. He might bring it into the Royal.
So Edgar has equipped the Stoneforge Mystic with the Sword of Feast and Famine, and then dropped the Squadron Hawk. And attacks, untaps all of his lands, taps 2. Looks like he's going to play another Squadron Hawk, possibly? Or is he... Oh, another Stoneforge Mystic.
Now, for the sake of argument, should Laurence, by some miracle, let's not even go there. Laurence isn't going to win this game. Let's pretend that Laurence wins next game. Game 3, Edgar on the play is going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes a call.
Edgar's like, you're on 2 Forest. I'm just going to play all 4 Squadron Hawks.
Laurence discards a card. Edgar untaps all of his land. Casts some more stuff. Another call comes down. Now, Laurence has seen Edgar's list. I'm not sure what he's hanging on here for.
Yeah.
4, 7, 8.
I guess he figures it's untimed. Let him beat me.
I don't think it's untimed, is it?
Oh, are they? I thought they were untimed. Either way, he scooped them up now. He scooped
there
up
we go,
all
there we
2
go.
of his forests.
Okay, to the sideboard. I expect we're going to see Laurence bringing in 2 Nature's Claims. He might bring into the Royal. He did not talk about bringing in Mana Leaks for this matchup, but a part of me wonders if Mana Leak isn't potentially not pretty good in this matchup. Now, oh, here we go. We got to come up with a fabulous little question here. So, the question that I am going to pose to you, and the answer to this question should be put on the Twitter hashtag #SCGPremium. The question is, Laurence Swasey here is playing a blue-green Vengevine list. What place did he get the last time that he played this blue-green Vengevine list at a Star City Games open event?
Sounds good.
This information can be found at the Star City Games website if you haven't already gleaned the answer from what we've said. The answer will be at #SCG Premium. Make sure you put that in there. The winner will get 3 months of free premium.
You tweeting that? Good. Okay, cool. So, for those of you who may have just tuned in, we're heading into Game 2 of the quarterfinals between Edgar Flores and Laurence Swasey here in Boston at the StarCityGames.com Open Series. I'm Joey Pasco, here with Adrian Sullivan. We just watched Laurence Swasey unbelievably lose on a mulligan to 3. That was sarcasm. So anyway, he mulligan to 3 and lost to the best deck in the format by one of the best players of that deck. So a mulligan to 3 is just not, the chances in that situation are very slim, and Edgar knew it and decided, Edgar just threw his entire hand basically onto the board. So here's 4 Squadron Hawks, 2 Stoneforge Mystics, 2 Sword of Feast and Famine, a Mortar Pod, or maybe it was just 1 Sword of Feast and Famine and a Mortar Pod. It was quite a lot. So, Edgar saying, all right, if you're going to hang on here, I'm going to make it really obvious that I'm going to win this game. But we can't, don't count Laurence out, because we've obviously seen him beat Edgar earlier in the day. Laurence didn't really get a true game here. It was just, unfortunately, he just got unlucky. But here he's got an opportunity to have a much better hand, you would hope, than a 3-card hand. And we've seen what he can do to the Caw-Blade decks with his blue-green aggro. Now I know one of the points that people are making about the format right now is that Vengevine decks, or kind of aggro decks, Vengevine decks, are the perfect foil to Jace decks. And we saw that play out earlier today between these same 2 players. The thing is, the Vengevine decks apparently are being weeded out by Valakut. Now, I didn't talk to Laurence. I can't remember specifically asking him about Valakut, but he doesn't seem to have any sort of problems with that matchup. He hasn't mentioned it.
I know that the card that he said he was really unhappy seeing was Inferno Titan.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Looking at his list here.
Laurence here is just hoping that he doesn't have the same situation repeat itself, where he mulligans down to nothing.
Yeah, that's not fun for anybody. Maybe it's slightly fun for Edgar. It's like, I got free hits with Sword of Feast and Famine in before we even started. So in the meantime, we've got some interesting other matches going on. Some of them are okay. Oh, you actually have it written here. Okay, so we have a Caw-Blade mirror going on between Drew Levin and David Shields. David Shields is the winner of Grand Prix Dallas just a few weeks ago with a Caw-Blade deck, and so he came in first place today in the Swiss, and playing against MTG Legacy himself, Drew Levin. We've got also Dan Jordan and AJ Soccer, 2 names that you will likely recognize if you're a fan of the StarCityGames.com Open Series. Both players playing Caw-Blade. We've got this matchup as we obviously Caw-Blade versus Simic aggro, and then we have a possible mirror going on here with Devin March and is that Adam Chambers?
Adam Chambers.
Okay.
We don't know if Devin March is playing a blue-white control right now, or if he's playing Caw-Blade. You can see if we can get our runner to let us find out, but right now we don't know yet.
It's funny, someone mentions about how serious Edgar looks. I think he looks serious when he's playing, but when he's not playing, he has the hugest smile on his face. So, Laurence has a turn to Lotus Cobra. Already a pretty good situation for Laurence to be in.
Now,
he also didn't mulligan.
Edgar wants an oust here if he doesn't have it.
And it looks like he does.
There it is. There it is.
Okay. And there's the Lotus Cobra going to the second from the top of the deck, and Laurence goes with the turn 3 Lotus Cobra.
And he's got a land,
he's got a
crack. There's Evolving Wilds.
So he'll be able to get 2 mana here.
Let's see what happens with that 2 mana.
There's an island.
Yeah, retrieves an island.
Comes into play tapped, so he only gets the 2. He gets the Evolving Wilds and the island coming into play.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Fauna Shaman, a Nest Invader. He's got so many 2-drops in his deck. There is a Nest Invader in his hand.
Yeah, it looks like.
But it looks like he's going for a second Lotus Cobra. That's really
he knows
dangerous.
Edgar does not play Day of Judgment.
Well, it is sideboard time, so there are 3 sideboarded Day of Judgments.
I wonder if that's something that Edgar brought in seems reasonable. So Edgar goes with the Stoneforge Mystic and a Mortar Pod. Mortar Pod, especially dangerous against Lotus Cobras. But if Laurence can take advantage of this turn, having this much mana, he plays a Nest Invader. It's a Yo MTV Raps token.
I think that's well, sadly I can't tell what. It might be Cool Mode D up close.
I know I saw Vanilla Ice around here earlier, and MC
that's
Hammer.
Certainly not Vanilla Ice.
No. I saw MC Hammer earlier, and that's not MC Hammer. Yeah.
I used to actually know all the Yo MTV Raps images, yeah, so that's why.
That's awesome.
For those of you who happen to know who Dan Bach is, he used to have a whole collection of them. And Edgar Flores trying to make his plan for what happens next. This is a pretty tenuous position for Laurence, though.
Yeah, I wonder, he didn't play a 4th land there, which is really what he wants with playing 2 Lotus Cobras. And knowing that Edgar just searched for a Mortar Pod, I almost think, why not attack? Why not attack with those Lotus Cobras? I mean, does he really... I don't even think Edgar would have blocked with Stoneforge Mystic. Was he really fearing, a Condemn? But maybe, I don't know.
And he got sacking for a mana.
And an Oracle of Moldiah.
Oh, wow. Is that an Evolving Wilds?
It is.
There's 1 mana.
Yep. And there's a 4th Lotus Cobra on top of his deck. So in the meantime, Edgar actually played the Mortar Pod, sacrificed it to kill a Lotus Cobra, and passed the turn back to Laurence, who
cracks that.
Who now goes and gets an Oracle, and then plays
probably gets an island. Yeah. There we go. Has 2 mana, points to his Lotus Cobra that is live. With that 2 mana, can do possible Fauna Shaman, possible another Lotus Cobra, I think, or is that all of them at that point between in his deck and?
I think the 4th one was on top, and he just shuffled it away.
Okay. Oh, there's a land. He has not laid the 2nd land for the Oracle.
Right.
That only gives him a 3rd mana, and he has access to 4 mana when he taps that. He can drop a Jace here. Or a sword.
He drops a sword.
Sword. I think Edgar is going to say, that's okay. Edgar takes 2 from Nest Invader.
Edgar plays a Seachrome Coast, comes into play tapped, and a Squadron Hawk. And passes the turn, while searching up some friends for that Squadron Hawk. And Laurence has 3 islands and 2 forests in play now. Also a Lotus Cobra, an Oracle of Moldiah, a Nest Invader, and a Sword of Feast and Famine. Edgar, I'm going to wait till it shows the board. Okay, Edgar has 4 lands in play. 2 Seachrome Coasts, a Glacial Fortress, and something else I can't exactly see. With just 1 untapped land, which is a Glacial Fortress, and actually it was a Seachrome Coast, and it just got blown up by an Acidic Slime from Laurence. So Laurence taps out to Acidic Slime, Edgar's untapped Seachrome Coast. So Edgar now has Seachrome Coast, Glacial Fortress, and something else. So that's his lands. Just a Mortar Pod with no Germ left, and Stoneforge Mystic and a Squadron Hawk in play.
In comes Nest Invader once again. Untap. DOJ. Oh, look at that. Slammed it down.
And
oh, nope. 2,
Says
just
I'm gonna
puts it
spit
down,
my own
equips,
sword out,
attacks.
equip, yeah. And
Discards a second sword.
yeah, Laurence discarded his second sword, and now Edgar gets his mana back, gets his lands untapped. And here we have another Stoneforge Mystic from Edgar. I really enjoy watching Edgar play Callblade.
Yeah. Okay, untap from Laurence. Laurence cuts Edgar's deck.
I missed what Edgar searched for, but I assume it was a sword of Eastern
Sword.
Dawn. Yeah.
And there is a forest. 1 mana from the Lotus Cobra. Nest Invader on top.
I think Laurence has a Fauna Shaman in hand, but I couldn't swear to it.
He does.
And there it is, yeah. Looks like he's about to play it, yep. So he uses the 1 from the Lotus Cobra and taps a forest to play a Fauna Shaman. He is really playing with no fear of Day of Judgment. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures on the battlefield. And it looks like he's in with Oracle and Nest Invader. Coming into the red zone. I'm surprised he hasn't equipped that sword.
I think part of it is that he doesn't want to invest the mana.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has an excess in mana right now.
At this point, that's what I mean, this turn. Last turn I think he played the Acidic Slime, so I understood why he didn't, but this turn... Is that another Acidic Slime? It is.
Slimes the sword.
Kills Edgar's sword, but I think we know Edgar has a second.
Yep, yep.
And he also has a Sun Titan in hand, so he can even get the other sword back as soon as he hits 6 mana available. Edgar in the tank. He's got some options, but Laurence has a lot of guys on the board.
Laurence does have a lot of guys, and if Edgar's life total were just a little bit higher, Edgar wouldn't mind so much. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fairly low life total when you're facing down. Looks like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures.
Right, 10
and a
power.
sword.
Yeah, it's 10
That's
power.
12 power,
yeah,
right?
12 power worth if he equips. That's, you know, that's Edgar will have to take care of something, or else some Alpha Strike kills him. But or obviously he blocks. But
2 mana. Gonna lay the Mystic down. There's no cards in Laurence's hand, so the only value he gets for hitting with the sword is the untap.
right. So he plays the sword and equips the sword and is in with the sword.
Gideon
Yes.
Jura would be the best card Edgar could possibly lay right now.
That's he's got quite a lot in his hand, but I think it looks like a lot of land and a Sun Titan. Here's the Sun Titan.
He's 1 mana shy of that Sun Titan,
Right.
which will come down
That was
next
a
turn.
Squadron Hawk.
And now what he's just doing is he's just gumming up the board. He's trying to make it a little bit more difficult for Laurence to be able to do anything aggressive that's problematic.
I think he had just equipped the Mortar Pod to Stoneforge Mystic as well.
Draw. Now, one of the things that's kind of exciting right now is that Fauna Shaman, any creature that
Becomes
Laurence
any
draws
creature, yeah.
is going to become things like acidic slimes, is going to become any number of problematic things. This might be the moment to equip that sword finally.
Yeah.
I think last turn was the moment to equip the sword as well. He had excess mana by the end of it. Oh, no,
No,
he used
he
slime.
used
I'm
the
wrong, I'm wrong.
second acidic slime, yeah.
I'm wrong. Count, count, count. In play, in comes Acidic Slime times 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
In comes Nest Invader, and in comes Lotus Cobra. Fauna Shaman sits back. Looks like
So
a
Squadron Hawk is going to block one of the acidic slimes. Another... I kind of couldn't catch it. They picked it all up so quick.
looks like a Stoneforge Mystic with Mortar Pod kills the Lotus Cobra.
Yeah.
1-3. And it looks like we have a another slime knocking out the sword.
Wow. That is...
Tutor up the slime. There are 3 slimes in play.
yeah.
That's all of them.
But it's done its job because he's taken out a land and 2 swords. 2 Sword of Feast and Famine. So, I mean, does... Edgar, if he does, I mean, he's going to play Sun Titan and get it back, I would assume. So
Yeah.
he's in the other equipment though is Sylvok Lifestaff, which I don't know if he brought in or not. I wouldn't
And
think it
then
would be that great.
the Stoneforge Mystic finishes off a wounded acidic slime using the Mortar Pod to finish it off. Now we have on one side 2 acidic slime, Nest Invader, Fauna Shaman, Sword of Feast and Famine, and on the other side is a Mortar Pod. I believe a Squadron Hawk, and then boom, Sun Titan gets back another sword.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he can make a... I mean, he's at 8 life, so does a sword help him more than another creature to chump block or soak up some damage?
He's just gonna lay the Squadron Hawk just
Yeah.
to get a blocker in way.
That's what it seems like. That I think that's good because he's going to be able to get back.
Best draw
sword
possible here
later.
for Laurence would be either Jace or Frost Titan. I think it was a land that he just drew though. He is looking at his mana though. Whips the sword.
So he's
Maybe.
not sure if he's equipping a sword, but
Oh.
there's
Jace.
a Jace. Brainstorm.
Brainstorm, wow. Can't quite make out the cards. Is that a Tumble Magnet?
Looks like it.
I think that's a Tumble Magnet. That's actually going to be really significant next
Yeah.
turn.
Pretty sure it was. Another Jace, I think?
That's another Jace, yeah. He can't cast the Tumble Magnet. I think he's got a Nest Invader for his last creature.
So
He has a Nest
Plays-
Invader
plays
makes
a
a
Nest
token
Yeah.
that can block Sun Titan if the Sun Titan were to equip that sword.
yeah,
It doesn't stop... there's a Squadron Hawk in play, so it won't stop that.
right.
In come 2 Acidic Slimes. Their Death Touch ability, very relevant here.
He really can't block with the Sun Titan here. And everything else he has is just 1 power, right? Yeah, he's got Stoneforge and 2 Squadron Hawks, so he can double block.
Yeah, looks like he's going to
Take
double block
out.
one of them.
Seems like a decent idea. Just
So maybe he's just going to chump. Double blocks
take-
1.
Double block, take 2. I think that's what he did.
There's a Celestial Colonnade hanging out over on the side.
Yeah, and he's got enough mana to activate it. Not enough to, well, he doesn't have a sword in play anyway. I was thinking he still did. He can have a sword in play pretty easily by just attacking with Sun Titan. Not
I mean,
sure
his
if that's,
position is really precarious here. There's 6 power hanging back. So one thing that Edgar Flores can do is he can equip the Sun Titan with Mortar Pod to make it a 6/7.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he has a Sun Titan in play, and it actually looks like it's not.
It's not enough.
Well, not that it's not enough, that it's not over.
Right, oh, right. I mean, as soon as he attacks, he can get another blocker, if that's what he's worried about.
But remember, there's that Jace. That Jace can just bounce a blocker.
Right. Well, maybe he attacks Jace.
Okay, here it comes for Jace. The Colonnade.
Yeah.
In it comes. In it comes. And he's offering a potential trade. Laurence here can throw 6 power in front of that Sun Titan.
Yeah, if he chooses to lose his Fauna Shaman. I mean, the Nest Invaders aren't such a big loss, but...
That means he will have a Tumble Magnet. The Jace is going away. He's got a Tumble Magnet on top of his library, I believe.
Yeah, if he set it up the way we think he did.
But he does have another Jace a turn below that.
That's right, yeah.
Looks like he's just taking it. Here comes Tumbles.
I think Edgar went and bought another orange juice.
I think he did too.
Adrian's gonna run the orange juice that Edgar left in the booth over to him. So pull back that Colonnade. And there's a Tumble Magnet from Laurence, which is pretty huge right now. I mean, being able to tap down that Sun Titan is going to be huge. That Sun Titan is Edgar's only way to access those swords anymore, and
he does have another Sun Titan
that's
access
right.
to it in his
That's
board.
True.
He boarded in too. He has got them in the board. The other thing with this Tumble Magnet, Laurence is an aggressive deck. If Edgar gets too aggressive in return, it's possible that Laurence can just tap you, get you.
Yeah. So
in comes the slime again.
This is quite the board state right here. So Edgar's thinking the same thing. Checking out the graveyard. What's available? What's been used up? Is he? Yeah, that's interesting. He just blocked with the Sun Titan. He blocked the.
He's got to get rid of that slime somehow, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have very many ways to get rid of it left.
But I mean, wouldn't a double block have been better than getting... Oh, there's Gideon. Wow.
Come for me. Come for me, my pretties.
Wouldn't a double block have been... Well, I guess he knows that a Tumble Magnet's just going to make that Sun Titan do nothing, but... That Tumble Mike is going to do something. And here he is doing what you were saying, maybe being
aggressive.
More aggressive. Yeah, tap, get you, but he might be getting Gideon instead.
There's Jace. Does it work? Mana Leak will not stop it because he does have that token there. The Eldrazi spawn.
He doesn't. Edgar doesn't have any mana to Mana Leak.
Oh, good point. I thought I saw two open at the end.
Yeah, they were probably just the ones that were separate, and maybe you were thinking they were open, but yeah. So.
He's doing some thinking. What am I going to do with this? Oh, wow. He goes really aggressive.
Yeah, he really is. Tap your Stoneforge Mystic.
Bounce your creature over there. 2, 4, 6, 8. Kill your Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon is...
toast.
Not long for the world, yeah.
Now, this does mean, however, that Jace can be toasted as well.
Yeah. Laurence checking out his own graveyard, looking for Vengevines in there. Did I put any Vengevines in my graveyard yet? He doesn't have any creatures to cast anyway.
Here they come, going for the Jace, I bet.
I think that seems like the right play. Take out the
Take
Jace.
that,
Yeah.
Jace. Let's make that clear.
Edgar's very... Yeah. He did that earlier when he was attacking with the Stun Titan and the Celestial Colonnade.
Hey, look what we got here.
Sharp
Caw-caw. Caw-caw.
And 2 Squadron Hawks. Is Edgar taking this game over, even though he just
I don't
lost
think
his
so.
Gideon?
I don't think so. What do we got there? Oust. Oust is going to be for that Fauna Shaman. Let's see what the top of Laurence's deck gets us. We don't know what this card is. It's a mystery.
Both players empty-handed?
I think so.
Yeah.
Top of Laurence's library is now a Fauna Shaman. That's a Lotus Cobra in his hand.
That's the 4th Lotus Cobra. Which he shuffled away before, but has found its way back to the top of the deck.
So the play here, I believe, is to attack with everybody.
We've got, what, 2 untapped Hawks right now that are available to block? One has a Mortar Pod on it?
That's right.
Yeah, seems good.
We got a 2-2. No, 2-3, my bad. Eldrazi spawn, so it's a 2-3, a 2-2, and a 2-2. 2 Nest Invaders and an Eldrazi spawn equipped with a Sword of Feast and Famine coming in. And on the defense here, we have access to a Clawblade with Mortar Pod and a Clawblade without Mortar Pod. And it looks like there's a double block there on Nest Invader. Order? 1-2? Okay, I'm not sure.
Edgar going down to 2?
Okay, what happened there with the damage? Is that Clawblade, that Squadron Hawk still alive? Like, I see it in play still.
Did he...
Okay, he ordered it on the 1-1 first, and then the 1-2, so there wasn't enough damage to kill the 1-2.
Right, oh, okay, that makes sense.
There we go. Celestial Colonnade number 2 comes into play. Edgar's at 2 life. He does have a Colonnade able to play defense. See a Jerry Thompson walking by, taking a gaze at the match. Looks like he's with Christian Cocano?
Or Colosso.
Is it Colosso?
Yeah,
so the back of the head.
Yeah.
There's Jerry T with somebody's back of their head. Okay. Waiting to see where to go. I believe he's just going to pass the turn. Okay. Something is tapped over there. Okay, there we go. Celestial Colonies tumbles the magnet down.
Yeah, so that magnet's dead now. Deactive. Inactive, deactivated. I don't know where I was going with that word.
And we've got some blocks here. The 2/3, the spawn is blocked by a...
A couple of hawks.
Yep. Left we have the Flanasham before. Now remember, he has a Lotus Cobra in hand that can turn into a 5 or 6 drop.
Yeah.
The cards. He has an Oracle of Moldiah still in his deck because it got put back in. He can start going for Vengevines. He has no Acidic Slimes left. He might have Frost Titan or Consecrated Sphinx. I'm not sure if they're left in the deck. It really depends on... Okay, Edgar still has a card in hand. Okay, what do we got here? Edgar at 2 life here. Tumble. Oh, tumble. Wow.
So how embarrassing was that?
I mean, that almost is just like, let's attack. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Tumble
so
it down.
Tumble your colony.
That's it.
Yeah, alright, so...
Laurence Swasey. A hard-fought game,
that
too.
That was a battle of grizzly bears. Just like a bunch of 2/2s fighting 1/1s and 1/2s. And
Now, it's certainly possible that besides Laurence Swasey winning that game to go to Game 3, we could have a winner out there after the end of this match of the Star City Games Premium. It could be you. 3 months of premium. And the trivia question, which is, at this point, long since been passed, the trivia question was, I'm just going to repeat it, and this was already tweeted at #SCG Premium. The last time Laurence played this deck, the last time Laurence Swasey played this deck at a Star City Games Open Boston, what place did he get? I'll give you a hint. It was a pretty good place.
it was definitely in the top 8.
Hey, careful now. Careful now. Don't give it away. And that question was, of course, tweeted to SCG Premium. #SCG Premium. Now, Laurence Swasey looking a lot more happy than he did at the end of the last game. Mulliganing to 3 is not a good feeling. I think that about the only deck that can do that and have much of a chance is Dredge.
Yeah, he... mulliganing to 3 was just not... it just looked bad. I think he kind of just went through the motions just to see what would happen, but Edgar had pretty much the typical Callblade draw, and facing 0 opposition. Definitely just wiped the floor with Laurence in that Game 1, but Laurence made Game 2 much more of a back and forth.
Those Acidic Slimes were really powerful.
Yeah.
I know that Laurence says he only likes the 3, but I kind of wonder if a 4th doesn't belong in the deck. I mean, yes, you can Jace them to reuse them. I think one of the questions I have for Laurence about his deck is, how good is Garruk really?
Yeah, and I haven't seen Garruk. I don't know, did you see him in the earlier...
I saw him cast a Garruk, and every time I saw him cast it, it got counterspelled.
Oh, okay, so basically it's a counterspell.
I mean, maybe that's what it's there for.
Right. I have to play this must counter. It really isn't there for anything other than eating a counterspell.
Delayed Blast Overrun. And again, actually, we talked about this before with Elspeth in the one deck, and just various different issues with Planeswalkers. That sometimes what a Planeswalker really does is, when you're an aggressive deck, it says, I know you don't want to, but you're going to have to attack me.
Yeah. It's a totally new dynamic that we've had added to the game just, in the past 4 years, 3.5 years.
It's crazy, 4 years.
I know, it's really weird. I'm like, that was 2007. I guess it's just 3.5, but, fall 2007, and it seems like it's so new.
It's funny, when they made a new card type, I said to myself, there's no way they can pull this off and have it be good, but I was wrong. Rashad asks from the side, you talking about Tribal? Yes, Rashad.
Yeah.
Yes, Rashad. I love Rebel enchantments. There is at least one.
I
actually also love Rebel Billionaires. So if you are out there watching Rebel Billionaire, I'll take some of that money. Edgar Flores went back to his sideboard, perhaps going for a Divine Offering.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like Tumble Magnet, it's one of the best cards that you could have against Callblade. And Edgar seems to have decided he didn't need it, and clearly has proven it, but he still needs to fight. He still needs to fight against it.
Right.
So, speaking of Tribal, I kind of do feel like Tribal is it's like an awkward...
You're getting a new tattoo?
Exactly. Tribal.
Okay.
I think those tattoos are out of style, but I was thinking of getting one anyway for when it comes back in. I'd be all set.
Speaking of Tribal, I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's all good. So the Tribal cards, my friend who I told you was kind of just getting into the game. I played a Tarmogoyf against him, and he was. Yeah, because I was playing my Legacy deck against Mono Red Standard.
That's kind.
Yeah.
Well,
we were just having fun. I was playing it was either Callblade or Team America. It was the choices we had. So.
Okay, we got the game underway. Edgar starting off with a Celestial Colonnade and a Verdant Catacombs from Laurence Swasey.
And Edgar goes with a turn 2 Squadron Hawk. So. But he asked me what Tribal was, because I played Tarmogoyf against him. He's like, what's Tribal? And I'm kind of like, well, it's like, like Goblin. Oh. I'm like, I don't know why it's a card type.
You see, some cards, when they love each other very much, become a part of a tribe, even if they're not a creature.
Like, I can't even explain this. I don't know. Just don't worry about it. There's no Tribal in this deck.
Laurence goes for the Fauna Shaman, double sacrifice. In a world without stifles, it's totally fine to to hold on.
So if this were like me and my friend, he might be playing Team America against Callblade or something.
I got stifled last night. I forgot that card existed. I've played that card a lot. Man, it is a kick in the teeth when you get stifled.
Yeah, you just don't expect it.
Oh, man, I wanted that land. I was going to play a Jace.
It's fun. A friend of mine plays Zoo, and alright, here we go with the
Turn 3 Jace.
Jace Bellerin, there he is. And he is always afraid of the stifle. Like every fetch land, he's afraid of he's stifling it.
Now he's got active Fauna Shaman here, Laurence Swasey. He's going to be able to, if he wants to, start going for a Vengevine chain. We didn't see any Vengevines last game, but I mean, he does have a Fauna Shaman Vengevine deck.
It looks like he may have 2 Vengevines in his hand. I may have, misseen that. It was just the corner of the artwork, but it certainly looked like a. Certainly looked like Vengevine. I want to say he's got. All right, well, let's see.
Lotus Cobra. That's right. They're Vengevine.
Right.
There we are.
Is it 2 or 3 Vengevines? Jeez, I think it may have been
a
3.
few.
Yeah.
He does not. Did I see a land in there? I don't think I saw one.
I don't think I saw one either. It's a little tough to tell. A little bit of a glare, but there's a Nest Invader.
I'm going to be willing to bet that he has a land then if he's casting Nest Invader. Oh, I could be wrong. Going Beatdown. Ksh. Attacks the Jace. And the Hawk hops in the way. Day of Judgment would be a pretty nice one. I see a day, I think.
Yeah, I think it was too.
Does he have the land, though? Now remember, Edgar Flores is only running 25 land. I don't think he... Oh, is that an edge? Tectonic edge?
I think it is. You can't attack with Jace, Edgar. It looked like he was about to turn it sideways.
Up. Let's both draw a card.
He's still thinking. Put it back to 2. He definitely wants a... He wants that Jace to stick around, so he's plus 2ing it. Oh, there's a forest.
There's a forest. Laurence
kind of
shakes
shook
the
it around.
forest.
Like,
oh, where were you, my pretty?
Yeah. Exactly what I wanted. So
Preordained.
From Edgar.
Wow. Leaves them both on top. Lays a land. Casts another caw.
Apparently didn't want. Oh, he just didn't even search with the hawk. Did he grab all the hawks, or did he just he just declined to search? I don't think he has all 4 hawks.
Another forest in Laurence's hand. Apparently 3 Vengevines there in Laurence's hand.
Definitely thought I saw 2, but then I started thinking
Goodbye,
it was 3.
little token.
There's the first Vengevine.
Here they come, cracking at Jace. Now, one of the things here is that by cracking at Jace, right, this kind of plays into a part of what Edgar wants.
Right.
Which is just to extend the game out a little bit.
Right.
Now, conversely, Laurence's deck is very resilient with those Vengevines against a card like Day of Judgment. So, Day is not like an escape valve.
Right,
Gideon is pretty solid, though, if it were to hit.
Yeah. I feel like if you got that many Vengevines, just go at it. Just attack Edgar. Don't worry about that Jace. There's an oust for the Vengevine. For Vengevine number 1. Now, of course, I could be wrong because Laurence is clearly in the top 8 here.
Okay, important note. Our runner has finally delivered to us the deck lists for all the top 8. The question mark, Devin Murch, was he playing blue-white control or blue-white Cawblade? The answer is Cawblade.
Surprise!
Okay. Going back to the game at hand, there is a 4th land in Laurence's hand.
there
Here
it
comes
is.
Vengevine.
I don't even think he looked at the top of his
He didn't even look.
He didn't look at his
He's
card.
like, doesn't even matter what it is.
Yeah. I know my
It's-
plan. I know what I'm doing. I'm
Jace is
killing that
dead.
Jace.
And no need to block
kind of
since there's no way to
curious
save
what
it.
I mean, oh, you know what? What did he? I have no idea.
He
Did
didn't
know
even
what was
look.
there?
He
Was
didn't even
something
look.
ousted earlier?
No, he just doesn't care. He's like, this is the plan. It's going to be a Vengevine. I'm going to lay my 4th land. Here is Sun Titan. Sun Titan Jace.
Titan.
Classic combo.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary thing. And here comes another Vengevine? So where'd that other Vengevine go? Oh.
And now Laurence is like, well, I got to find a plan now.
Yeah, because Sun Titan's bigger than Vengevine. Is he Jace bounce? I don't know. He can't Jace bounce.
Yeah, he's only got the one. I think he wants to put a.
There's
what is
an
that? Oracle.
Yeah.
Boom.
Forest.
1 land. Two lands. And the Conundrum Sphinx on top.
Consecrated.
Or Consecrated
If it was
Sphinx.
Conundrum Sphinx, we'd wonder what he was playing that for.
I mean, next turn that Jace is going to look pretty silly.
Yeah.
Presuming that Consecrated Sphinx manages to actually hit the table.
Yeah.
Edgar's like, I knew that card was in your deck, but jeez. The other thing that's kind of funny now is that Laurence, for all Edgar knows, might have mana leaks in his deck now.
I know, that's kind of funny. something I was thinking about too. I don't think I saw any mana leaks in Laurence's hand, but I was wondering.
Oh yeah.
That Day of Judgment certainly looks a little silly when Edgar has the Sun Titan in play. He doesn't want to lose. Also with a Vengevine there. So. Are we off air again? Right.
So here we go, though. Oh, he touches his 2 mana. I've got a mana leak.
I like it. I like him fainting the. Trying to bluff that, like, I'm gonna counter whatever it is you play.
I'm gonna say Edgar looks like he's in really good shape. But particularly after hey, Gideon, why don't you guys come over here to my house? I'm having a party.
Yeah.
Having a Sun Titan's invited, and
That's right.
all you guys are invited too. No, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. It'll be a lot of fun. Now he taps out. That Consecrated Sphinx is going to hit play.
Yeah. Edgar says, I don't fear that thing. That card's terrible.
God.
Oh, wait, you draw those cards? Oh, wait, I misread it.
You know, I remember a card a long time ago. It was 5/6 for the same cost, roughly, as that, and it didn't have any other abilities. And that was a good card. Fat Modi. Okay, what is that we have on top there? Is it Acidic Slime?
Is that Nest Invader or is it Acidic? It looks like Nest Invader to me, but
I think it's an alternate art of Acidic Slime.
Oh, it may be that, yeah. Because I was like, I don't think it's Nest Invader now that I look at it either, but...
Fauna Shaman. Vengevine. Vengevine comes back. Okay, if we're coming to the party, let's come to the party. Man, I almost feel like Consecrated Sphinx should have come down.
Yeah, where he had the opening,
out.
yeah.
I mean, just the sheer amount of gas you can get out of that seems so good. And he does have Fauna Shaman Vengevine going. This is pretty good. God.
I love Fauna Shaman Vengevine.
I do too. You know, it's funny because I don't love Fauna Shaman Vengevine, but I love it.
I think if in a different world before, if Valakut didn't, if all those people that said this are correct, if Valakut had not taken over and given the Jace decks the opportunity to dominate the metagame, I think we would all hate Fauna Shaman Vengevine, because I think we'd be seeing it a lot more often.
Okay. Dead Jace. One of the things that's interesting about Laurence Swasey's deck cannot be Tectonic Edged, or more accurately, cannot be Tectonic Edged for value.
Yeah.
Sword. Okay, I got some cards in my hand.
Yeah.
And it comes. Discard a Vengevine, perhaps.
No,
discard the... We think it's a slime, maybe?
Yeah. Trying to see what the alternate art looks like.
Day of Judgment. Now the mana is open.
Yeah, I don't have an alternate art Acidic Slime. I didn't know there was. Is there an alternate?
I don't know if there is or not.
Okay. Maybe it's an alternate art something else. I'm just having trouble telling what that is.
Okay.
Look at
He's got
we don't have this list. Jared
an
took
empty
it.
board from Day.
Alrighty.
Does he go all in on the Sphinxy Sphinx? Does he go for...
Does he have... He has Vengevine. Does he have another small creature in his hand?
I don't know if there's anything off screen, but if there isn't, then all we have is 8 mana and a sword in play for Edgar Flores, unless there's something off screen that I can't see. He casts Acidic Slime.
Acidic slime, yeah.
That is an Acidic Slime.
Is it just because it's oil it looks funny?
Oh, Nature's Claim, maybe.
Oh, is that
Nature's
what that is?
Claim.
That's what it is.
Nature's Claim. That makes sense. A Condemn hits the Vengevine, knocking it to the bottom. That's a Nature's Claim. There we go.
Couldn't figure out what it was.
I mean, as best as I can tell, it looks like that's all land. Preordain. Yeah, on screen we can just see a handful of land, or a board full of land for Edgar Flores, and a board
Both
full of
players,
land
really.
for Laurence Swasey.
And there's a Stoneforge.
There's Stoneforge. Getting sword number 2. There it is. He taps, lays the sword. Ah, there it is. Gideon.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
What is off screen? Yeah.
I thought there might be a Gideon in play, but it was so far off screen I didn't, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was there. It kind of seemed like both players were kind of just empty boarded, I guess, besides the land.
I don't know about Lawrence's play much earlier where he had the opportunity to get that Sphinx into play and he didn't do it. I understand he wanted to be aggressive, but I think the Sphinx lets him be aggressive later, too.
Yeah, it gives him a lot more options. Go.
And now Edgar has an untapped board. Laurence is looking like he's in pretty bad shape, honestly. I mean, I think you pretty much just have to drop your best card and hope it resolves.
Edgar has 2 cards in hand, I believe, both kind of setting to the side.
And
So
here's my mythic card. It's called a Conundrum, or a Consecrated Sphinx. Does it resolve? It resolves.
And, alright, don't miss the trigger.
Draw.
Because I definitely played with Consecrated Sphinx and missed that trigger. It is not fun. Kick yourself.
It is a May.
Exactly. I
You're
would play it and I'd be like, go. Man, that's awesome. I just resolved that Sphinx. That's so cool. Oh, I missed the trigger.
Now, a Consecrated Sphinx can't hold off a Gideon with a sword, but it can hold off anything small with a sword. Several Vengevines in the yard, at least 2. One Vengevine on the bottom of Lawrence's library. It's a Celestial Colonnade, making itself felt.
6/6.
A 6/6 Colonnade coming on through. I think I just take it.
Yeah, I think that Sphinx is going to be giving too many.
Discards and Evolving Wilds. Says, attack me. I'm throwing a party.
Yeah, I love that.
Is he the charming man or is he the assassin? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Is he the gracious host?
Lotus Cobra there. Lotus Cobra can help some Vengevines come to the party.
I know. It's kind of an interesting situation here. So I'll play a Nest Invader. Does that resolve? It does.
Okay.
Yo MTG taps token. I mean, Yo MTG wraps. I'll play a
Fauna Shaman. Ding 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 ding
Also-
ding ding ding.
Yeah.
I see you have card advantage in your deck. I also have card advantage in my deck. Two mana left.
And you said you think he has a Lotus Cobra in
I
hand? Or
thought
maybe
I
was
saw
that
it,
the
but
Nest
it
Invader?
might have been that Nest Invader.
Yeah. They're sort of similar looking when you just see them very quickly.
I just saw the corner of the card, so... Here it comes. I hear you are throwing a party.
Yeah. The Vengevine is crashing the party. You guys weren't invited. There's a condemn for the Sphinx.
Condemn for the Sphinx. That's very sad.
Yeah. He got him some... He drew 2 cards off of it and got a condemn out of it.
The word I have from the street, Dan Jordan beats AJ Soccer 2-0.
Okay.
And we have a second condemn. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow. So he condemned the Sphinx, condemned a Vengevine, and blocked the Vengevine with a pro-green dude.
That was rough.
Yeah, that was Edgar.
Edgar holding on to 2 condemns there.
Yeah, that Gideon had that party set up for crashers.
It's true, it's true.
He expected more guests than he invited.
There's not much time left in this game right now. I mean, with Gideon and with Celestial Colonnade.
Funny thing is, he just gave Laurence back all that
all that life. Yeah, that was a gift of 9 life. Fauna Shaman can just bring that Conundrum Sphinx right back. All it needs is a creature. Frost Titan might be another choice.
Yeah.
If he still has Frost Titan in the deck.
I don't know what he's got in his hand, but...
If it's a creature, he could be thinking through the possibilities of what goes next.
Yeah.
He's got a green set aside, and then 6 set aside.
Yeah, looks like he's thinking Titan or Sphinx. For anyone just tuning in, we're here in Boston for the StarCityGames.com Open Series. This is the standard portion, and we are nearing the end of the quarterfinals.
Discarding. This is Adrian Sullivan here. I'm here with Joey Pascal.
Yeah, we're watching as Edgar Flores and Laurence Swasey throw haymaker after haymaker at each other.
Is that a Frost Titan he's looking at?
He has it on the top. Yeah. So this matchup is interesting because we see Edgar Flores making his umpteenth top 8 appearance at the Star City Open Series with the blue-white Call Blade, and Laurence making his is it his 3rd or his 2nd appearance at a Star City?
This is his 2nd appearance in a Star City Games Open Series top 8. He top 32'd at the Star City Games Invitational. Both of those previous times he was playing this deck. He has altered it slightly based on card availability and metagame. For example, Sword of Feast and Famine was not printed the first time that he top 8'd.
So it looks like he's trying to make a decision. He did discard a Fauna Shaman, I think, to the other
that's
Fauna
correct.
Shaman. So he's got 6 mana available to cast whatever it is he decides to get, and he's trying to figure out what exactly he wants.
I kind of like the Sphinx here rather than the Frost Titan. Oh, he's going for the
Frost
Frosty.
Titan.
Frosty here can hold down the Colonnade, or hold down the... probably the Colonnade? Counterspell. Devastating.
That's huge.
And now he's going to attack with his creatures because he has to. And the Nest Invader is going to be eaten. Look at that. That defeated shuffle.
Yeah.
Scoops it up.
Level 7, baby. Ooh, yeah.
And that was kind of notable because really there was no game 1.